Fox Sports.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
With the Cleveland Indians in town this series, Maglio Ordonez is one happy Tiger. Mags is hitting a red-hot 400 against the Tribe this season, and he hopes to continue that streak here tonight. It is an absolutely beautiful night for baseball as we welcome you to downtown Detroit. We're in the Motor City tonight, Comerica Park. Game one in this three-game series featuring the visiting Cleveland Indians and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen, glad to have you with us for Game 1 in this series. Tigers dropped 3 out of 4 against the Athletics, trying to move forward and start anew here tonight. And they will do so, Rod, with Jeremy Bonderman on the mound in the month of May. He may have been the Tigers' most dominant pitcher.
I've been really impressed with what I've been able to watch out of Bonderman. When you talk about a guy that basically had missed a couple of years of pitching in the major leagues, and when he left, he had a mid-90s fastball and an unhittable slider. But he had to reinvent himself when he came back and really had to learn how to pitch all over again. No longer does he have the 95-mile-per-hour heater. He works right around 90 miles an hour. He's got tremendous movement at the bottom of the strike zone. He still has the outstanding slide piece. We nicknamed it Slide Piece and Mr. Snappy. Bonderman, his last couple of starts, Yankees, also Seattle Mariners, did not use many split-fingered fastballs. He has kind of stuck with what works for him, which is right now the two-seam fastball and the real good slider.
Well, how about these numbers? When you take a look at all of the major leagues, American and National League, Jeremy Bonderman has the second lowest ERA in the month of May. Only Ubaldo Jimenez of the Colorado Rockies had a better ERA. Jeremy Bonderman on a roll and hoping to keep that roll going here tonight against the Cleveland Indians. That is the story here from Comerica Park. Right now we send it back to the studio, and Ryan Field has more on our coverage tonight at the Call Sam Studios. Ryan? Cleveland in town to take on the Detroit Tigers. And if Detroit combines for 3 or more home runs in this game, make sure you bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of the box score in your newspaper or at the Tigers page at foxsportsdetroit.com. Manny Acta has his Cleveland Indians in town, and this is a Cleveland team that just lost 3 out of 4 to the New York Yankees in the Bronx. Here is his starting lineup tonight is presented by Honda Bloomfield. Trevor Crowe leads it off. He'll play in center field, followed by Shin-Soo Choo. Austin Kearns in left field. Travis Hafner, the DH. Johnny Peralta playing at third base. Russell Branyan opens up at tonight is Quetzalcoatl, Marson, and Jason Donald. Here is a scouting report on Jeremy Bonderman, presented by Scott's Lawn Pro.
Well, Bondo just needs to keep dealing. He has found the proper arm slot. He's also found the proper mix and speed differential between the fastball and also the slider, which has allowed him to be one of the best pitchers in all of baseball in the month of May. Only Ubaldo Jimenez of the Colorado Rockies had a better earned run average, and you may remember a few starts ago in Cleveland, Bonderman gave up quite a few runs to this Cleveland Indians team, and that game got washed away because it got rained out and the numbers didn't count.
One time where the rain really helped, at least for Bonderman. There's a strike call as we are underway tonight. Trevor Crowe is the leadoff man and playing in center field. Of course, the Indians are without Grady Sizemore and Asdrubal Cabrera, both out with injuries. Crowe is batting in the leadoff slot, hitting .258, and Bonderman misses high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That is a big chunk to take out of your batting order. Your leadoff hitter, who hits 300 and steals 30 bases, and Cabrera has played very good baseball for the Indians the last couple of years himself, a switch hitter who hit 300 last year.
So some opportunities for some others in this Cleveland lineup to get a chance to play. Crowe is one of them. And for Manny Acta, it has to be extremely frustrating not to have every bullet that you have at your disposal. But he's 18-31 as the manager of the Indians, coming over from the National League and the Washington Nationals. It's lifted in the air toward right field. On the move is Ordonez, sprinting back down there, and he'll run it down for the out. Crowe is gone, 1 away.
Let's take a look at the Tigers defensively, and of course it's always presented by Beaumont Hospital. You've got Damon in the outfield today, not the designated hitter. Maybe that'll jumpstart his offense in the month of June. The infield reads Inge, who's committed 2 errors in 143 total chances. Santiago Guillen up the middle for the 2nd consecutive day. The big fella anchored over at first, and G-Money Gerald Laird behind the dish.
Shin-Soo Choo is probably one of their better hitters, yet he's 0 for his last 17 as he stands in tonight.
And talking to some Indians, people that travel with their club, they said it's the hardest 0 for you've ever seen. Said he's hit some balls extremely hard, but nothing to show for it. And Manny Acta gave him the afternoon off yesterday in New York because of the left-hander, Andy Pettit, to give him a mental day off.
Played in 3 games in that series and was hitless in 14 at-bats against the Yankees. Bonderman missing 2 balls, 1 strike.
And he is their most dangerous hitter. He's probably their best all-around player, and he kills right-handed pitching. So if you're Bonderman, you need to proceed with caution despite his numbers.
Choo can go 0 for 17 and still bat .280. That's where he is right now, and Bonderman busted him inside but missed. 3-1.
Don't expect too many fork balls from Bonderman. I think that experiment may be about over. Rumor has it that Bonderman is working on a changeup. Yeah, I said it. He's working on a changeup once again, and trying to master that as his 3rd pitch instead of the fork ball.
That's popped up foul, back out of play.
For whatever reason, that has been something that Bonderman has tried to do his entire big league career, master that 3rd pitch.
Well, fortunately, in his last 4 starts, here in the month of May, or in the month of May, since we're in June now, he hasn't needed that 3rd pitch because he's been really good. 3-2 on Choo. That'll go foul down the right field line, not by much. Full count on Shin-Soo Choo, just underway on a gorgeous night. 79 degrees our game time temperature, and clear skies. Beautiful night to be downtown, beautiful night to be at the ballpark. Again, the 3-2. That's on the ground to first. Right there is Cabrera. I think he makes the play. 2 gone. So a good start for Bonderman. He'll face Austin Kearns. Bondo made a couple of starts on the recent road trip, one in Seattle and one in Oakland. Pitched well enough to win both of those. We picked up a win and a no decision. Kearns, meanwhile, batting .294 with 3 home runs. One ball, no strikes on Austin Kearns, the former Cincinnati Red and Washington National. Played for Manny Acta in Washington. Now they are reunited here in Cleveland. Manny, the one thing he said about Kearns was this guy is a player. And he comes to play every night. And that's why they brought him to Cleveland. Little chopper hit slowly towards short. Santiago with the running scoop. And a 1-2-3 inning for Jeremy Bonderman. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the first, no score. Two-three for Jeremy Bonderman. The Tigers starting lineup presented by Big Boy tonight, and it features Austin Jackson, the rookie, at the top, batting .330, followed by Johnny Damon. He is in the outfield tonight. Maglio's in right, followed by Cabrera. Then you've got Bosch, Guillen, and Inge, who had a nice series against Oakland. Laird, and then Santiago. So the Tigers will line him up against Jake Westbrook tonight as Jackson digs into the plate, and here we go in the bottom of the first. Austin has hit safely in his last 3. Had a pinch hit single, which knocked in a run in the ball game last night, or yesterday. I guess it turned into last night with the long rain delay. Westbrook likes to work quickly. 1 ball and 1 strike. Likes to get a lot of ground balls.
And because he gets so many ground balls, he's an outstanding defender. He's only committed 9 errors his entire big league career. No gold gloves. But he gets ready to field the baseball because of so many ground balls.
Jackson has hit safely in 10 of his last 11. The 2-1 pitch. That's toward right field, deep to the corner, but out of play.
And Westbrook was their opening day starter. That was his second opening day start in his career.
Out of Athens, Georgia, Jake Westbrook, 32 years old. He'll be 33 in September. 2-2 offering. Hit to right field on a slice. That's also foul.
And Jake Westbrook, former #1 draft choice of the Colorado Rockies. Back in 1996, this young man threw 6 no-hitters in high school. His junior and senior year. 6 no-hitters. Mind-boggling.
Blow it away. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And I guess if you throw 6 no-hitters in high school, you're bound to be a first-round draft choice.
I know they'll be watching you, that's for sure. 3-2 pitch is rolled foul.
Jackson, when he puts the ball in play, there's no better hitter in all of baseball. But Jackson has struck out quite a bit this year as well, but we won't talk about that too much. He's hitting .330 and one of the best rookies in the American League.
Line foul again. We were talking about this the other day, but Jackson seemingly has been able to weather that little bit of a slump that he had after an outstanding month of April. He started May struggling a tad more, but boy, you look now in the month of June, he's still batting .330. Awfully impressive. And that one is going to go foul again. He's been almost exclusively the other way here against Westbrook.
Outstanding at bat by Jackson. Not only is he still alive, but Johnny Damon, if he didn't, has a pretty good idea of what Westbrook is featuring today, as does Ordonez and everybody else that's going to hit in that Tigers batting order. 9 pitches already to Jackson.
Here comes number 10. He'll soon see number 11.
Wicked two-seam fastball that Westbrook will feature. Tremendous movement at the bottom of the strike zone when he's on.
There's yet another foul, and this is turning into a monumental at bat here by Jackson.
Usually when you foul off this many pitches, advantage hitter. Lots of fastballs, a couple changeups there, but just about everything at the 90-mile-per-hour range for Westbrook in this at-bat to Jackson.
And a bouncing ball to short. Right there is Jason Donald for the out, one gone. Well, the Bernstein advantage brings you the scouting report on Jake Westbrook. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you.
It's been somewhat of an up and down season for Westbrook. He'll win one, lose a couple, win a couple, lose 3 more. But when he's going good, he's a ground ball machine. 4th in the American League, 2.5 ground balls to every fly ball. And he's been banged up throughout his big league career. 7 visits to the disabled list, the majority of those right arm trouble.
A 12-pitch at bat for Austin Jackson took a little bit of gas out of his tank. Johnny Damon steps in. Johnny back in the outfield today, playing in left. 2-0 on Damon.
Johnny Damon did an interview with Trevor Thompson yesterday after the game and basically blamed himself for the team's entire, I guess, lapse, you could say, in the last homestand, losing 3 out of 4 games to the Oakland Athletics.
Right to Shin-Soo Choo on a line, hit it hard, 2 gone.
You know, choosing right. Let's take a look at the remainder of the defensive alignment for first-year manager in Cleveland. Manny Acta-Pro filling in for Sizemore is in center. Kearns is in left. Peralta, Donald, Gruzzalonic, the Grizzled veteran, is at second. Branyan is at first. Morrison has done a tremendous job this year at throwing out would-be base stealers. As a matter of fact, Morrison best in the American League.
Shin-Soo out there in right field has a terrific throwing arm. He made the play on that line drive off the bat of Damon. They bring up Maglio now with 2 outs. .403 on base percentage for Ordonez coming into play tonight. One of the best marks in the American League.
He hits Westbrook rather well himself. Maglio is one guy that can take that good two-seam fastball and not try to pull it when he's going good. He'll simply shoot it the other way, which is a good recipe for success against sinker ballers.
Chopper hit toward the third baseman. Easy play for Peralta. Maglio is out of there, and each starting pitcher has a 1-2-3 first inning. On our way to the second. strength and stability since 1849. And by Comcast. Call 1-800-COMCAST for TV, phone, and internet. Back here at the ballpark, where the Tigers are taking on the Cleveland Indians tonight. Game 1 in the series on a gorgeous night. Told you 79 degrees our game time temp. And no rain in sight. That's the good news. Travis Hafner is leading it off against Jeremy Bonderman. Hafner, for all the troubles that Cleveland has gone through this season, is really starting to take off a little bit now. He's hitting 13 of his last 15. And this year against Tigers pitching, 8 for 16 with 4 RBIs. In the air to center field, Jackson still coming. One gone. 4 straight retired by Bonderman.
The third baseman, number 2, Johnny Peralta.
Now Johnny Peralta, the third baseman.
And Johnny Peralta hit his 100th career home run yesterday in New York. Congratulations, Johnny Peralta.
100 taters, that's pretty good.
Started his career as a shortstop for the Cleveland Indians before moving to third base last year, and holds a record for all-time home runs as a shortstop.
And that's going to drop in, a base hit. So Peralta has a 1-out single, first hit of the game for either side, and that's going to bring up Russell Brandon.
And apparently the Cleveland Indians have noticed that Bonderman's thrown quite a few first pitch strikes over the course of his last couple of outings. Therefore, Hafner and Peralta up there first pitch swinging.
Russell Brandon, the first baseman, started the year on the disabled list. Had a back injury that he was coming back from. Brandon's got some big time power. In fact, 6 of his last 15 hits have been home runs. So that power has kind of manifested itself recently. 6 home runs overall this year.
He has worn a lot of different big league uniforms. And that's the one thing that's always been consistent with Brandon. He's got real power.
Shattered his bat. Rolled towards second. There's one. Here comes the relay. There's a double play. 4-6-3. Guillen, Santiago, and Cabrera. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit. Presented by Bell Tire. Have 3 or make it 4, 5, and 6. And Miguel Cabrera leading it off right now is third in the voting, the All-Star voting in the American League. Teixeira leads over Morneau, who leads over Cabrera. So we got to get working here. Miguel Cabrera having an MVP type season. He is third in the voting. His 48 RBIs leads the American League.
That's a very difficult position. And Morneau is having a tremendous year. And we know what Cabrera has already done this year, and Teixeira is starting to heat up. And you've got Euclid in the mix as well, so it's going to be very, very difficult for some of these first basemen to get to Anaheim as an all-star. Last year, Cabrera was the odd man out. He will not be the odd man out this year.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Miguel.
If he is, it may as well not be an all-star game.
Cabrera, with 14 home runs, is second to Morneau in slugging percentage. He's done just about everything this year. Here comes Westbrook's 2-2.
Ooh, good pitch.
Full count.
The biggest difference in Cabrera this year than prior years, not giving away any at-bats whatsoever. High alert every time he steps in that batter's box.
That is hit a ton to right center field, way back, and that ball is off the wall. Cabrera on his way to second. He's in with a double. Massive power the other way to some of the deepest parts of this ballpark.
From the time he put on a Tigers uniform, Jim Leland kept emphasizing to Cabrera, you give away too many at-bats. And finally, in year 3 in a Tigers uniform, not giving away any at-bats, and that's why he's a legitimate MVP candidate in the American League.
Miguel Cabrera safe at second base with a double. Safe and secure, New York Life. Here is Brennan Bosch now with nobody out. Bosch had 3 walks in the ball game yesterday. Swung at a pitch out of the strike zone, and that's something he wasn't doing yesterday.
That's what a lot of teams are starting to do to him now. They're not giving him first pitches to hit. And Brennan's got to recognize that and come back to the strike zone.
Here's the 0-1. 0-2 on Bosch.
Took a look at Brennan Bosch's left hand in the clubhouse today, and he said it was fine. Of course, if you weren't with us yesterday, he got stepped on trying to score on a base hit to left field that Brandon Inge hit. And Kurt Suzuki, the catcher, stepped on his hand. But he said he's good to go.
And he rolls this one to the right side. This will advance the runner as Westbrook covers, and Cabrera saunters down to third. Bosch able to send the game's first run just 90 feet from home plate. He's going to bring up Carlos Guillen. So an RBI chance here for Guillen. Carlos was 2 out of 15 in the series against the Athletics. And batting .276.
And Manny Acta is conceding the run on the infield, with the exception of Peralta at third. You want to stay away from him if you're Carlos. And of course, in the process, you want to stay away from Westbrook too. He's a good fielder. These are the situations that Jim Leland and Lloyd McClendon talked about to their team way back in February. Runners on third base, less than 2 outs. We've got to score those runs, fellas. Jim kind of called them gimme runs, although he realizes it's really not that easy. It's hard to drive in runs in the big leagues.
1 ball, 1 strike on Guillen. Carlos has been a pretty good hitter lifetime against the Indians, .292. And he shoots one right back up the middle and into center field off the glove of Donald. This will get the run in. It's an RBI for Carlos Guillen. First run of the game. Guillen has his 10th RBI. High fives for Cabrera, who led off the inning with a double.
Not all bad to get jammed. When you got that runner on third, less than 2 outs, Carlos swung wildly at a breaking ball at the bottom of the strike zone, and he told himself, I got to get jammed. I've got to drive this run, and he got jammed. He broke his bat. He was rewarded with a base hit and an RBI.
Brandon Inge had himself a pretty good series against the Athletics, 6 out of 14. That has jumped his average up a little bit now to 235. He's hit 6 home runs. Driven foul down the right field line, 0-2.
Brandon also has been stellar defensively this year. And at the beginning of the year, he was not healthy. He had both knees surgically repaired in the offseason, both knees. But yet has only committed 2 errors at that third base position this year.
The 0-2 is rolled slowly toward third base. On the charge, Peralta. He's going to eat it, and everybody's safe.
Peralta is not a shortstop by third baseman by trade. And this is probably the most difficult play for third baseman to learn. It's a do or die play. He comes in, he gloves it, and then he can't get in handle when transferring to the throwing hand, therefore doesn't throw it. Wise decision by Peralta.
Third hit of the inning for the Tigers. They have 2 on with 1 out. There's Gerald Laird. Laird at 165, 2 out of 8 in the series against the A's. Ground ball to short. They'll flip to second one, and the relay coming from Grzelcyk for the double play, and that is that for Detroit. So they will settle for 1 run. 6-4-3 double play. When we come back, Nick Lidstrom will join us. He says he's coming back next year. We're excited about it. The nation's fastest 3G network, AT&T. Rethink possible. And by GMC, we are professional grade. Back here in the Motor City, and a great night for baseball here in downtown Detroit. It is 1-0 in favor of the Tigers. We head to the top of the third inning now, and it's going to be Mark Grzelcyk to lead it off for the Tribe. Grzelcyk, Marson, and Jason Donnell facing Jeremy Bonderman, who has picked up a double play. In fact, both pitchers have induced a twin killing tonight. Grzelcyk batting .283. And Bonderman gets ahead with a fastball 0-1.
Not a lot of power for the veteran Grzelcyk. No home runs as we speak. Majority of his hits are singles. And the majority of his base hits are to right field. He's made a living doing that his entire big league career.
On the ground to the shortstop. Santiago makes the play, and 1 gone. 6-3. That's going to bring up Lou Marston now. Another ground ball there for Jeremy Bonderman. Marson hitting just .216, no homers. He has knocked in 6. Tigers grab the 1-0 lead with a run in the bottom of the second inning. They got it on the RBI single by Guillen. And there is a strike called 0-1. Well, it's our pleasure to welcome in Nick Lidstrom, who has let everybody know that he'll be back next year. Nick, welcome. Thanks very much for stopping in tonight, and tell us how excited you are about being a Red Wing again next year.
I'm very excited. Very excited to be back with the team, and I never did leave, but I'm very happy to come back for another year.
19 years, boy, that's a long time, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's been 19 years. Time's been flying by. We've had a lot of fun and a lot of success, and that's what I want to continue to do with the Wings. So
my question for you is, how do you keep yourself in such great shape? You look wonderful.
It's got to be the genes. It sure helps. I've been lucky enough to don't have any major injuries, but I've been fortunate enough to come up back with this body, so that really helps.
Good for you.
You know, you talk about your durability, Nick, and that's been something that I guess has been your hallmark in your career. And that's a very, very physical sport, as we all know. But how hard do you work out in the offseason?
That's a big part of my having success during the regular season. That you got to stay in shape in the off season, take care of yourself, because it is a long season, a long 82 game season before the playoffs start. So you have to take care of yourself in the summertime, and that's what I've been doing so far.
2 outs here for Jason Donald as we chat with Nick Lidstrom, who signed a 1-year deal to return next year with the Red Wings. And I was reading an SI poll recently, and your peers voted you the best defenseman in the National Hockey League. And when you get voted like something like that from your peers, that has to be something special.
Yeah, it is, especially when it's coming from players that you face on a daily basis, and I think they know you the best. They know your tendencies and what kind of player you are, so that means a lot when it comes from the players.
Do you have any young children at all, or boys, girls that play any hockey or whatever?
I have 4 kids.
Okay.
And they're all 4 boys, actually. They all play hockey, so they're keeping our household very busy.
I know you're a proud dad, but I mean, do they have a chance of getting to the level that you've played at?
It's hard to say now. You know what? They love doing it, and I'm very supportive of what they're doing. But if they're going to have success, I'm going to be very happy with that. But if not, I'll take that too. I really know that they're enjoying the game.
Wonderful.
3-base hit for Jason Donald, so the tying run now is at third base. We're chatting with Nick Lidstrom. And Nick, what has it meant to you to be a Red Wing? Because obviously you spent a lot of time, 18 seasons, here in the city of Detroit. And I would imagine it's almost become a second home for you. What have the fans meant to you here, and what has it meant to be a Red Wing?
It means a lot playing for the Wings, one of the original 6 teams, and one of the very competitive teams in the last 15 years. We've won 4 Stanley Cups and have a shot at almost every season. So it means a lot to be part of this organization. And our owners, Mr. and Mrs. Illich, have been tremendous of really supporting the team and putting the best players that possible on the ice.
Johnny Damon catches the final out. Nick, we appreciate it. Good luck next year. Thanks for stopping by.
All right. Thanks a lot, man.
All right. Nick Lidstrom, the Detroit Red Wings, 1 more season in a Red Wings uniform. Glad to have him. Jeremy Bonderman, meanwhile, cruising along.
Hey fans, live your baseball fantasy during Field of Dreams weekend, August 13th through 15th at Comerica Park. Play baseball for 3 days with former Tigers players serving as your coaches. Call 313-471-2550, or you can always visit Tigers.com.
Well, here is Santiago leading it off. In the bottom of the third, he rolls one foul right by Brookins at first base.
Santiago has been getting quite a few reps at that shortstop position these days. I guess one reason might be his average this year against the Indians, sitting at 364.
Santiago, Jackson, and Damon here in the Tigers' third. Tigers a run on 3 hits, no runs, 2 hits for the Cleveland Indians. Ramon pops it up to the grass. The shortstop, Donald, runs it down. 1 gone. Well, it's great to catch up with Nick Lidstrom. Boy, what a tremendous athlete. What a tremendous guy. What a tremendous record.
At age 40, he looks like he's in tremendous shape. Him and Chris Chelio. I'd like to drink some of that water those two drink.
Oh, unbelievable. Great shape, great guy. And a Red Wing for at least 1 more year. That's great news. Austin Jackson is 0 for 1 with a bounce out. Jackson has hit safely in 10 of his last 11. Rolls this one to the shortstop. So Westbrook getting another ground ball, and Jackson is out.
Well, we told you coming in that Westbrook is getting 2.60 ground balls for every fly ball this year. And Lloyd McClendon said coming in, it's hard, but you have to, the best of your ability, and make him get the ball up around the waist. And if you know it's around the waist, it's usually going to be a pretty good pitch to hit. The tough ones are the ones that are right around the knees, because those tend to end up south of the knees, and they're not good pitches to hit, and that's when he's getting all the ground balls.
Here's Johnny Damon. Damon lined one sharply to the right fielder, Chu. That was back in the first inning. Hit it hard, but had nothing to show for it.
In case you're wondering, Westbrook also has a changeup that he threw right there to Johnny Damon. It's a circle change, and he also has a breaking ball. So he's got 3 pitches.
Damon lifetime against the Indians, good numbers, 301, 10 home runs career against the Tribe. He's ahead here, 2 balls, 1 strike. Slice toward left field this time. He can't find it. Kearns lost it in the sun. It's over his head. He started in. Now he's chasing it back to the wall, and Damon is in with a 2-out double. Kearns looked like he was in trouble from the get-go on that line drive.
And they tell you when you are playing the sun field, when you don't see the ball initially, you pause and you hope the ball comes out of the sun. Kearns breaks in initially and then has to retreat, and you can see the expression on his face that he wasn't going to get there. You pause momentarily, you hope the ball comes out of the sun, which allows you to get a pretty good beat on it. And that's what they teach you in the outfield.
No sunglasses either.
No.
Here's Ordonez. Can Maglio drive in this run? He grounded out back in the first. Ball low, 1-0 the count. Even the fans out of the left have their shades on.
It'll give you an idea how tough it is out there.
Here's the 1-0. In the air to right. Chu is there, and that is that. So the Tigers get a 2-out double. Straying the man, 3 in the books. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. 3 of them win Gold Gloves. That's your question tonight. We'll get you the answer a little bit later on. In the meantime, Shin-Soo Choo will lead it off. It'll be Choo, Kearns, and Travis Hafner. Indians got a 2-out triple in the 3rd, but failed to score. Jason Donald. Now they're back to work here in the 4th. Strike 1 on Choo. Shin-Soo grounded out back in the 1st inning. Bonderman had a 1-2-3 first. Here's the 0-1.
Shin-Soo Choo, all-around good player. He came from the Seattle Mariners after starting his minor league career there. He can do it all. He can hit for average. He's got tremendous power. Outstanding defender. He can throw. He's a 5-tool player and their best all-around player. Led their team in home runs last year.
But he is struggling right now, 0 for his last 18. Line to left field. Damon in the sun with the shades. One gone.
It's a good thing he has those shades on. There were 2 outs last half inning, and Damon did not have those glasses on, but he went in with 2 outs. And he got the glasses. He came back out, and then he makes the final catch of the inning. And so he wisely went in to get the glasses, knowing that it could be difficult. And there's one thing a manager will not tolerate. If you don't have sunglasses on, you better not ever lose a ball in the sun.
Here's Austin Kearns. We're just talking to Johnny this afternoon about DHing as much as he has. I'm out there in left field tonight. I enjoy playing the field. DHing doesn't bug me, but boy, these first 3 or 4 innings at this time of night can be a real challenge out there at left. Right now he's shading his eyes with the glove. Here's the 1-0.
It's a wise decision by Leland to put him in the outfield today. Jamie's been struggling offensively, and when you have a player that's struggling and he's your primary DH, if you can play defensively, you put him out there so he can take his mind off hitting, play a little defense. Brennan Bodge has no problem being the designated hitter himself.
Here's the 3-0 to Kearns, and he lost him. Ball 4. It's a 1-out base runner for the Indians.
You don't have to worry about this Indians team running a whole lot. With Grady Sizemore lost for the next 6 to 8 weeks with knee surgery, they don't have a lot of stolen base threats.
It's going to bring up Hafner. He is a home run threat.
He's probably the one guy in the lineup because his numbers have been good lately, last couple of weeks. And he's also been very good against the Tigers this year. He's the guy that you really don't want coming up with traffic on the base paths. They don't really want to pitch to Travis Hafner today.
Shin-Soo Choo is their leader with 9 stolen bases. But he was retired to start the inning.
And you see the shift with Santiago directly behind second base.
In the air toward left. On the move. Damon still going, and he'll track it down. Back to first base goes Kearns. Sunglasses coming in handy again. Hafner now is 0 for 2.
You feel helpless as an outfielder when you can't see.
He looks helpless.
I've been there, done that. You just feel helpless in some of these ballparks where the sun is where it is right now. You've got your glove up, you've got your hand up, you've got the glasses up, and guess what? You still can't see. I mean, there's nothing worse than that.
Johnny Peralta had a base hit back in the second, eventually erased on a double play ball. Pitch by Bonderman in for a strike, 1-1. Peralta trying to recapture some of the power he had a couple of years ago. In fact, in 07 and 08, he hit 20 homers in each of those 2 years. But last year he fell to 11 home runs. One and two on Johnny Peralta. These Indians are right now trying to make their way through a 10-game road trip. It started in New York, where they lost 3 out of 4. Their bullpen really struggled in that series. And the Indians come in a season low 13 under 500.
It's tough to go into a place like New York that has as many good bats as they have. And if your starting pitchers don't go deep in games, by the time you're playing that third and fourth game, your bullpen is so taxed and tired that it just gets beat up. That's what the Yankees and Boston Red Sox do better than any team in baseball.
Runner going, and it's fouled off.
If they get into your middle relief early in a series, they can wear you down.
Well, that bullpen gave up 24 runs in 11 2/3 innings.
Ouch.
A boatload, which I think brought their ERA as a pen to about 6.5.
They've got the worst ERA in the American League.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Johnny Peralta. Austin Kearns, the runner at first base. Here's the 1-2. Fouled back out of play. How about the pitcher comparison tonight? Pretty even in terms of pitches thrown. Of course, Westbrook needed a ton of pitches, 12 to retire the first batter of the game. Austin Jackson, so that drove his pitch count up a little bit. 1-2 on Peralta. And the runner goes again. Bouncing ball back up the middle, but Guillen had him played nicely. He'll backhand and throw him out to retire the side. No runs, a walk, 1 left. Bonderman through 4, looking awfully good. Nothing. And back here at the ballpark, pleasure to be joined now by Wings GM Ken Holland, who I guess was seen doing a little dance earlier today because Nick Lidstrom is back for another year. Tell us how thrilled you are about having Nick back. Yeah?
Well, that's a great day for the Red Wings. Obviously, Nick's been, I think, the best defenseman of his era since probably the last 10 years. We haven't missed the playoffs while Nick has been here. And I think he was seriously considering his options, but thrilled to have him back.
Well, it's an amazing run indeed. There's Cabrera, lines one into left center. That's a base hit, maybe more. Let's see. Cabby taking the turn. He's going to try for 2, and here comes a throw. He is out at second base.
Great outstanding hustle by Cabrera, though. I mean, as a manager, you could never, ever fault a guy for this kind of hustle. It's a nice play in center field by Crow, but nonetheless, good hustle by the big fella. And he's running out of the batter's box, too. He sees this ball, and he's getting after it out of the batter's box. This wasn't one of those situations where he turned the Jets on late. That's a good play by Crow.
Just like that, 1 out. It'll bring up Brendan Bosch and an excellent tag.
Ooh, almost lost the ball.
Pollock held on. Bosch hit by the pitch. Well, Ken, we were talking about Nick Lidstrom, and I saw a quote from you saying that he plays so much of the game in his head. What exactly did you mean by that in terms of the type of player he is on the ice? I mean, he's so impressive physically, but he really thinks the game.
Yeah, it's his positioning. He makes everything look easy. He lets the game come to him. A lot of people, they chase the game. They're faster, maybe, but they're chasing after the game. He knows how to position himself. He's physical when he needs to be, but for the most part, it's a quick stick. He knows how to take the puck away. He knows how to play the game, and he makes the game look so easy. I think if you're going to the rink, he's not a guy that's going to wow you. He wows you by watching him every day, day after day after day, with his attention to detail.
Did he learn those intangibles from at a very young age, or is this something that he kind of came into the National Hockey League with, or is it something that evolved over time?
Well, I think a lot of this he had. Nick really became Nick Lidstrom in 1997 when we had the car accident. We lost Vladimir Konstantinov, and I think Nick knew that he had to take his game to another level. We had lost a real star defenseman, and he started to get lots of minutes against the other team's best players. I think all of a sudden his confidence just took off, and he took his game to another level. So, he was a really, really good defenseman, and then all of a sudden, I think from '98 on, he just took it to another level, and he's become, like I said, I think the best defenseman of his era.
2-0 on Brendan Bosch. Runner goes, and a bouncing ball to second base. They will stay out of the double play, and Guillen is out.
I was asking Lidstrom, how in the world does he stay in such great shape at his age? I mean, he's 40 years old. This guy's chiseled. I mean, he's in great shape.
Yeah, he is. The great ones, I think, in any sport, they just have something special that other people don't have. Right? They age a little more gracefully. I see Al Kaline sometimes up in Mr. Ilse. I mean, he looks like he could almost go out there and put him at the plate. So, I mean, Nick's 40, but he's, people look at his birth certificate. He really is probably 31, 32, 33 years of age. He's and he works real hard off the ice. But I think it's also his body's it's a bit of a gift.
Well, Ken, what about the rest of the summer now? Obviously, this is a big signing for you. I know Yuri Hudler's coming back again next year. As you look forward to next year, what is the summer going to be like for you?
Well, we're talking to Thomas Holmstrom. We're talking to Todd Bertuzzi. Ideally, if we can get them done at numbers that they're good, happy with, and we're happy with, we'd like to keep them both. So, we're going to move some kids up. It's time for Justin Abdelkader to be on our team full time. We want to give a young player, Ritola and Kindle, 2 kids who are on our farm team, a chance to make our team. So we're a little bit, I think that we're trying to move some kids in. But at the same time, obviously, we feel we got a real good core. And, in our sport, we find out what the cap is the last week in June. July 1st is free agency. And if we can get some people done and have a little money left over, we'd like to explore, maybe get a little toughness, maybe another kind of some secondary scoring. So we're going to kind of see how it sorts itself out here in the month of June.
Speaking of young players, obviously you watch the Tigers. They have 2 really good young players in Brendan Bosch and also Austin Jackson. You talked about bringing up young players. I mean, how much of it is a risk when you're bringing up these young kids and knowing what they could do once they get here?
That's a great question. I mean, I played 9 years in the American Hockey League, so I'm some players are ready to play in the NHL or Major League Baseball, I guess, pro when they're 20. Some aren't ready till they're 23 and 24. I think it's the maturity level. I think if you bring kids up too soon and then they start to face adversity, they lose their confidence, and then it just spirals out of control. So, I think it's knowing the person and really how mentally tough they are.
Brandon Inge at the plate, and the countdown will go 3 balls and 2 strikes.
So one of the things that I've tried to do, or we've tried to do, is we try to leave our players. We've had a real good team for a long time, so we've had the luxury to leave our young kids in the American League for 2 and 3 years, so that when they come up, they're really mentored by Lidstrom and Chelios and Eiserman and Osgood and Draper, and we've sort of got the program going. So I'm big on the mentoring, and at the same time try to get them to base. But when they're ready, they're ready.
Bouncing ball to second base, and gobbling it up is Grzelcyk. Ken, we appreciate it. Thanks very much. Congratulations on the season.
Always. Nice visiting with you guys.
Have a great summer.
Yeah, you too. Thanks a lot.
Ken Holland, general manager of the Detroit Red Wings. Tigers still lead this one. With a half-game lead over the Philadelphia Phillies. Of course, the Tigers will be playing the Braves in interleague play down at Turner Field later this season. Get an up-close and personal look at a team right now leading the National League East.
And that young good player, Jason Hayward, who we've heard so much about, who was a tremendous rookie in the National League. Of course, we get a chance to watch 2 real good rookies here on our own squad, but I'm looking forward to watching Hayward play.
Here's Russell Branyan to lead it off against Jeremy Bonderman in the 5th inning. 1 ball and 1 strike on Branyan. Jason Hayward's one of those guys that I think when he gets a year or 2 into this league, and maybe you can say this about him right now, that you're going to want to pay to watch this guy play.
6'5", about 220.
Oh, man. That ball's hit high. It is hit deep. It is hit way back, and it is gone. A home run. Branyan, we talked about his power. That means 7 home runs now.
He had a breakout year last year playing for the Seattle Mariners and really got the first opportunity to play every single day, but he had some back problems down the stretch. Jack Zarincic, their general manager, decided not to sign him, and he's come here to Cleveland, and he's hit 7 home runs. It's a fastball that's right down the middle. Bonderman hasn't missed in that location very much the last couple of starts. And when you do miss there against a big physical guy like Branyan, this is what happens.
Adios, that's what happens. The home run ties this ball game at 1. Branyan now, 7 of his last 16 hits are homers. He's just been on a tear. Here's Grzelcyk. Fights that one off foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. The veteran Mark Grzelcyk in his 15th major league season. Originally drafted by the Montreal Expos years back.
He didn't play last year and contemplated shutting it down, retiring to stay home and help his wife raise their kids, but decided to give it one more go and found himself in the big leagues once again.
He's retired on the fly ball to right, 1 gone.
It's always a very difficult decision when you've played as long as Grzelcyk has played and your family has had to sacrifice while you've done all the traveling. Once you do spend that 1 year home, as he did last year, injured, you kind of see and you kind of miss the kids and their activities. And when you leave, you really miss that.
Here's Lou Marson. On the ground at third. Tricky hop for Brandon. Does not panic. And Marson is out. 2 away. By the way, the home run that Branyan hit, as you look at Mr. Inge, handle a bullet. The home run that Branyan hit, only the second earned run allowed in the last 18 innings.
From an earned run standpoint, only one pitcher in the National League, and that was Jimenez of the Colorado Rockies, has been better than Bonderman. And Jimenez has been the Zach Greinke of all of baseball this year. He has already won 10 games, and his earned run average is well under 1. In June,
Jason Donald had a triple back in the third. The 2 earned run stat, that was for Bonderman, of course, on the home run by Branyan. So he has pitched really, really well, and you don't see him, or we haven't seen him touched up all that much. In fact, in his last 4 starts, the most he's given up is 2 runs in any of those starts. One ball, 1 strike on Jason Donald, who tripled but did not score in the third. And this May, Bonderman awfully good. A microscopic 1.33 earned run average.
Last couple of pitches, a major reason why. Still has real good depth with his slider, although the velocity not as hard as it used to be before the injury. Biggest thing with Bonderman is confidence, though. He's pitching with a tremendous amount of confidence, which is a big part of playing a big boys game in the big leagues. Without it, you don't succeed, regardless of the talent that you have.
Here's the 1-2 offering. Jason Donald is one of 3 former Arizona Wildcats. He played his college ball at Arizona. So did Trevor Crow, and so did Shelley Duncan, who is now with the Indians.
Ryan Perry, you might as well throw him in that mix too.
Wildcats all over the place.
Yes, indeed. They play good baseball in the Pac-10.
Shattered bat again. Slow roller towards second. Again, gonna barehand. And he got him by half a step.
Nicely done.
Home run by Branyan ties it up, and Carlos with a terrific play. Three infielders that won Gold Gloves. The answer is Robbie Alomar, Omar Vizquel, and Travis Fryman, the former Tiger. That's the trio that won the Gold Gloves.
Two of the three will end up in the Hall of Fame. Vizquel is still playing, and Alomar did not get in his first year of eligibility. But he should have got in.
There's Gerald Laird. He is leading off the bottom of the fifth in a tie game now.
When those guys were playing shortstop and second base, it was when they were selling out the Jake every single night in Cleveland. And boy, did they have an outstanding team.
The only other franchise that has had Gold Glove winners at second, short, and third in the same season, the 69 and 71 Orioles. They had some good ones. Davey Johnson, Brooks Robinson, Mark Belanger. The bouncing ball left side. They'll get through to the shortstop. Donald. Ooh, he got him by half a step. One away. Well, from Jason Donald to McDonald's. We invite you to join us and vote for your Tigers player of the game, courtesy of McDonald's, using your cell phone. Text Tigers, followed by a space, and the player's uniform number to 37338. That's FSDET. You'll see the final results post-game during Tigers Live. Cabrera has 2 hits in this game, so you might be voting for him. We'll see. Santiago looks at a strike. Ramon popped up. He's 0 for 1. Well-pitched ball game on both ends tonight. Westbrook and Bonderman. Little line drive sinking into left field and caught by Austin Kearns. 2 gone. Bring up Austin Jackson. Tigers tonight 5 hits and the Indians 3 hits. Westbrook had reconstructive elbow surgery a couple of years ago, June of 2008. And that limited him last year to just 3 minor league starts as he was trying to make his way back. He had back-to-back 15-win seasons in 05 and 06. Jackson held off 1 and 2.
That kind of sounds similar to Bonderman, who also had that surgery in 08 and used 09 to kind of work himself back into shape and has finally hit his stride here in 2010.
Ironically, they're on the mound facing each other tonight. Been through a lot of the same stuff. Roll toward third, backhanding Peralta. And the Tigers go 1-2-3 in the 5th inning. So Westbrook is looking good tonight, and we head to the 6th inning. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Mott's Apple Juice, Hand-Picked Goodness, and by Jaguar. Visit your local Jaguar dealer to experience the 2011 Jaguar XJ. Great night for baseball here, and a great night to remind you this game is available in crystal clear high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD. Sponsored by Comcast. A popped-up bunt is out, number 1, and Trevor Crowe is gone.
It's a good idea by Crowe because both pitchers are on top of their games. But take a look at him in the batter's box. What you have to do is you have to stay there and bunt the ball and then leave the batter's box. You can see his feet are moving, he's running, his head's moving, and that's when you get the bad bunt. You have to get it down and then you run.
Shin-Soo Choo is 0 for 2 and now 0 for 19. There's a strike called, 0-1. 0 for his last 19, that is. Talking about how good of an outfielder this guy is. 6 outfield assists this year. Swing and a miss.
He'd have a whole lot more than that, but the word has gotten around the American League that you really don't run on this guy all that often. So the few third base coaches that have tried to challenge Shu, this is what you get.
Maglio right behind him, along with Crawford.
You'll see some guys in the I think Manny Ramirez one year had like 20 assists. That's because they just kept running on him in left field. But I mean, there's some guys that third base coaches just don't run on. Their reputation precedes them, and Shu is one of those guys.
2-2 on Shin-Soo Choo.
He was a pitcher as an amateur and threw awfully hard, as you could imagine.
Choo sends one high in the air to right field. Maglio is going back to the track, to the wall, and this one's going to carry out. The slump has come to an end for Shin-Soo Choo. He was 0 for 19, but he is now homer to give the Indians the lead.
I was talking to Steve Smith, their third base coach, before the game today, and we were talking about Choo. And he said, Roddy, it's the hardest 0 for 17 you've ever seen. And he felt like Shin-Soo Choo was ready to bust out. And he gets himself something at the bottom of the strike zone and flips it out of here. Is that the football? It looked like it.
Well, if it was, and it was hit out, and that was the reaction of Bonderman.
That's why he doesn't like it.
Yeah, we may not see many more.
Nope. That's why he doesn't like it.
So Choo is feeling pretty good about himself now. That was his 8th home run to break that long spell. Austin Kearns, ball inside, 2-0.
I guess if you're going to give up a home run, you want to give up solo shots. And that's exactly what Bondo has done here today. 2 solo shots. One by Hafner, you just watch one by Branyan, and you just watch the one by Shu.
Bonderman had come into this game having given up just 2 home runs this year. Now he's given up 2 in this game. 1 to Branyan and now 1 to Choo. Three and 1 on Austin Kearns, 1 out. Indians lead here in the 6th, and there's a walk. 1 on, 1 out. Time for game break now as we go back to the studio. Ryan Field has some news on the O's and the Yanks. Ryan? All right, thank you very much, Ryan. There you see the standings in the American League East. Tampa with a 2.5 game lead on the Yankees.
They got some beasts in that league. Look at Boston in 4th place. 29 and 23.
It's going to bring up Travis Hafner.
Let's take a look at the two sides of Travis Hafner. And we told you he's been hot, but earlier he was cold. 189 first 21 games this year. And you take a look at his last 21, that's the guy they like. They like Prunk. I mean, Prunk does outstanding work in an Indians uniform, and Travis has struggled. And you would normally think that he would be a good double play candidate, but he hits a ton of fly balls. He's only grounded into one double play this year. Number 2 would be lovely.
1 and 2 on Hafner, who has 2 more fly balls here tonight. 1 to center, 1 to left. Club's all-time leader in home runs as a designated hitter with 154. And of course, as you may expect, the RBI totals are the best as well.
A couple of years ago, he was one of the most feared hitters in the American League.
His last big year, you go back a few seasons to the 2007 campaign when Hafner hit 24 home runs. He knocked in an even 100 that year. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Bonderman strikes him out.
Good slide piece here by Bonderman. It looks like a fastball. It stays on the fastball plane all the way to the dish. Hafner sees it about knee high. Starts his swing in the last 5 feet. The ball disappears on Travis.
First strikeout for either pitcher in this game. That'll bring up Johnny Peralta.
Kearns is not a base stealer per se, but the last time he was on first base in this game, back in the 4th, he attempted to steal on a couple of different pitches.
High fly ball. Right field for Maglio, just about on his tracks. Hitting over, but the Indians take the lead with a run on the homer by Shin-Soo Choo.
The gap, Crow comes up, fires a strike to Grzelcyk, the second baseman. They're able to tag Cabby out, trying to stretch a single into a double. Coors Light Freeze Cam is always brought to you by your Frost Brewed Coors Light. Well executed play by the Cleveland Indians, Trevor Crow.
Tigers down by a run as we go to the bottom of the 6th, and they will have 2, 3, and 4 coming up. It'll be Damon, Ordonez, and Cabrera facing Jake Westbrook, who has really done a job tonight. He has given up 5 hits, just the 1 run. Pop up, shallow center field. And Crow will make the play on that one as well. 1 gone. We're talking to Jim Leland before the game today. He was really frustrated after yesterday's loss. He wasn't mad at anybody. He was just frustrated that the lineup that he put out yesterday did not score nearly as many runs as he thought they would. And so he said, I went home last night. I was really mad. I decided to go to bed early. I was laying in bed. I had my pop. I had my potato chips. And all of a sudden, I knocked the pop over all over the bed. The potato chips went flying. And he said it was just that kind of day. And an end to just a really frustrating day here yesterday. Ordonez. That's popped up. Right side of the infield for Grzelcyk. 2 gone. Leland did confirm that he didn't bother to clean up the mess, so it wasn't a very comfortable sleep last night. But he's back to work today and hoping that offense can get going. Here is Cabrera with a double and a single. Monster fly ball center field. Going to stay in the park though. Crow cruising over. And Mr. Westbrook has another quick inning. A 4-pitch inning. That didn't take long. Let's go to the 7th. Ice Pack Tuesday brought to you by Meijer. Text Meijer to 37338 to be eligible to win a fantastic prize pack any baseball fan would love. Meijer, higher standards, lower prices. And an absolutely gorgeous night here at Comerica Park as the Tigers open up a 3-game series against the Cleveland Indians. Right now the Indians are on top. They lead it by a score of 2-1, even though the Tigers have out hit them 5-4. No pitch game on both ends. The difference, the home run by Shin-Soo Choo in the 6th. Russell Branyan leads it off in the 7th. Branyan, Grzelcyk, and Marson. The 4 hits for the Indians, a single by Peralta, a triple by Donald, and the home runs by Branyan and Choo. Bonderman's 0-1. On the ground to the right side, Cabrera will backhand it. Bonderman will cover. There's your first out.
The second baseman, Mark Grzelcyk.
Here comes Mark Grzelcyk. He's 0 for 2. Grzelcyk came into the season as a career .290 hitter. Right now he's at .277, 10 RBIs. mentioned earlier, 15th season now in the big league, so he's been around a long time. He's put up some big numbers, and it's grounded to third, knocked down by Inge, but he's unable to keep it in his glove, and that'll be a base hit.
Gives you an idea of the quickness of Brandon Inge at the third base position. He gets himself in a really nice balanced position on the balls of his feet, which allows him to move laterally to the left or to the right. He goes to the right that time and knocks it down, and had he been able to corral it, he probably still would have gotten the out, but the ball trickled off his left knee and kicked into foul territory.
Here's Lou Marson. He's 0 for 2. Runner goes, and it's fouled off.
We have watched Jim Leland also put a hit and run on in this game, and that's usually what managers will do when you have two pitchers on tops of their games, as Westbrook and Bonderman are here today. Why not put a runner in motion and try to stay out of the double play? Increase your chances in maybe scoring a run or two more. As we get a look at Steve Smith, the first year third base coach here for Manny Acton.
Both of these starters here are doing so well today that Bonderman has had just three ball counts, and 2 of them have resulted in walks. Westbrook has had only 2 3-ball counts, hasn't walked anybody.
Speaking of Manny Acton, he really earned this opportunity to get a second tour of duty as a manager. He spent 8 years managing A-ball. 8 years of A-ball before even moving on in the Houston Astros organization, and he had 2 jobs this offseason in his hand at the same time. He was offered the Houston Astros job, and he was also offered the Cleveland Indians job on the same exact day. He chose the Indians job because he felt like they were closer to winning. And I really don't know which team is closer to winning, because Houston is struggling too.
Angelo comes into foul ground to make the play. There are 2 gone.
The Indians have 17 wins coming in, and the Astros have 18. So I don't know.
Well, maybe Manny was thinking, these guys have traded away Sabathia. They've traded away Cliff Lee. They've traded away some big names, Victor Martinez. So I'm sure they've replenished the minor league system.
And he also thought he was going to have a healthy Sizemore and a healthy Asdrubal Cabrera, which he does not have right now. And when you take your number 1 and 2 hitters out of any lineup, it's not going to be pretty.
Johnny Peralta, one of the veterans on this team now, along with Hafner. They have Chu. I mean, they've got some guys that have been around that have done some things at this level.
It's so tough when you trade away players like they traded away players. They traded away back-to-back Cy Young Award winners.
Inge can't get that one. It's out of his reach into left field.
They traded away Sabathia in 08, and they traded away Cliff Lee in 09, which is the first time that's ever been done. Back-to-back Cy Young Award winners being traded in back-to-back seasons. And when you want to start talking about trades and getting value back in return, look no further than the Texas Rangers when they had Mark Teixeira, and they traded him to the Atlanta Braves. All the prospects they got back, Andrus, Saltalamacchia, Neftali Feliz, and the list goes on. That's the kind of return you want when you trade away blue chip players.
There's Trevor Crow. He's 0 for 3. I guess a lot of that comes down to trusting your scouts and trusting the reports that they give you, because obviously you can't see everyone, and you hope that the reports are right.
No doubt. No doubt. Great point.
2-1. Indians lead as we play in the 7th, and they're threatening for more here with 2 outs. Bonderman just missed there. 1-0 on Trevor Crow. A couple of runners aboard. They have Grzelcyk, they have Donald, and Crow this year has been really good with men in scoring position. And he's got another opportunity here. Trevor at 471 with men in scoring position coming in. Good pitch on the outer edge. 1-1. Well, the Indians do have a couple of the pieces that they got in that Cliff Lee deal in the lineup tonight. Lou Marson and Jason Donald. They're at the bottom of their lineup this evening. Part of their rebuilding process.
Donald playing a shortstop here tonight, but they see him as their second baseman of the future.
Off the end of the bat, Bonderman not going to be able to get this one, and it's going to be an infield hit. Trevor Crowe is on, and that will load the bases. And barely got past the mound.
Yeah, this is one of the last guys that you wanted to see coming to the plate with the bases loaded.
Rick Knapp making his way out to the pitching mound. Shin-Soo Choo is going to be the hitter due up.
Looked like Shin-Soo Choo got a split-fingered fastball from Jeremy Bonderman his last time up, and the ball was located well at the bottom of the strike zone, but he just kind of flips it out of here. And if you're Bonderman, really, I mean, you have to give some credit to Choo there. When a guy hits a pitch like that and hits it out of the ballpark and you've made a quality pitch, you just have to say, you know what, I made the pitch, he just hit it. Look at the location of this split-fingered fastball down. And Choo just goes down and gets it. Catches it out front. Real good power.
Tigers getting some action going in their bullpen now. Bonderman has thrown just 83 pitches in this game. But he has the bases full here with 2 outs. And Choo hits one high in the air to center field. Jackson moving back, still on the run. Circles and makes the catch. And they leave him loaded. No runs, 3 hits, 3 left. Bosch, Guillen, Inge coming up.
Bigger party in an upcoming Tigers game. Group tickets, picnics, and party suites are on sale now. Groups of 15 or more and can get discount tickets to select games while supplies last. Order your group tickets at 313-471-BALL, or you can always visit Tigers.com.
Brendan Bosch leads it off. It'll be Bosch, Guillen, and Inge. Tigers trying to get it going offensively. 5 hits, only 1 run. That came on the RBI single by Guillen in the second. Bosch pops this one up. It's sailing back to the seats. Out of play it goes. 1 ball, 1 strike on Brennan. He has been hit by a pitch and bounced out in this game. Bosch with 17 extra base hits in his first 29 big league games.
I don't know when they announce it, but I can't imagine anybody but him being American League Rookie of the Month in the American League.
That's popped up. The shortstop Donald to the grass.
That means Jackson will have won the award in April, and Big Bad Brendan Bosch will get it in the month of May.
to bring up Guillen.
Jake Westbrook giving Manny Acta exactly what the doctor ordered after their bullpen struggled in New York over the weekend. He has come out and pitched into the 7th inning, and looks like there's no let up in sight for Westbrook here tonight.
His pitch count is in scary good shape, only 77 pitches. And that was after a 12-pitch at bat to Austin Jackson to start the game. Of course, he only had a 5-pitch 6th inning. That helped out tremendously. The 0-1 popped up, and this one will head back to the seats as well.
Saw Tim Belcher there talking to the manager, and Manny Acta, no doubt, talking about Westbrook and how he's doing. And we're not going to that bullpen tonight, Mr. Belcher, if we can help it.
24 runs in a little over 11 innings of work in the Yankee series. That bullpen allowed.
But the Tigers, just a couple of really nice plate appearances here away from tying this ball game up and taking the lead. They have the kind of offense that can do that.
2-2 on Guillen. Carlos knocked in the Tigers' run back in the 2nd, his 10th RBI of the year. Bonderman, meanwhile, has been good himself. He gave up just 2 solo shots.
He's been nice.
Rolled toward first base. Foul ball. 2-2, the count stays.
It's a nice job of finishing the play here by Brandon and also Westbrook. If you don't know what Marvin Hudson, first base umpire, is going to do if you're Brandon, you don't know if he's going to call it fair or foul, so you need to finish the play instead of waiting for his call.
Here's the 2-2. Carlos spoils another.
Westbrook has been on the disabled list 7 times throughout his big league career. Majority of his injuries right elbow related.
Swing and a miss. 2 gone.
He has had a really nice changeup today. Throwing it from the same arm slot he's throwing his fastball from, and it's a tough pitch to hit. He's been on top of his game.
For as dominant as he has been tonight, that is his first strikeout of the game. 2 outs now for Brandon Inge.
Dominant for a guy like Westbrook is exactly what he has done. Lots of ground balls, pitching to a lot of contact, keeping his infielders on their toes.
Inge with an infield hit and a ground out. The 1-0 lifted in the air. Foul ground and back out of play. Top of the dugout. Souvenir time. Marson giving chase. Inge now has 7 hits on this homestand. Of course, that homestand started with the 4-game series against the Athletics. He came in and took 3 out of 4. Indians lead a tight one here tonight, 2-1 in the 7th inning. Driven to center field on a line, but right there is Trevor Crowe, and the Tigers go again, 1-2-3. 7 in the books. It'll be Kearns, Hafner, Peralta coming up. It is 2-1 in favor of Cleveland here as the Tigers need to get the offense going. And today we found out the D train will be headed to the West Coast. He is off to Arizona, traded to the Diamondbacks today for right-handed pitcher Billy Buckner.
You know, there were some that wondered whether Dontrelle would surface. So once again, as far as pitching in the major leagues, and apparently Josh Burns, the general manager out west in Arizona, is willing to give D-Train another opportunity.
First pitch popped up left side of the infield off the bat of Austin Kearns. Inge finally has it nestle into the glove, one gone.
This much I will say about Dontrelle. He was a good teammate. He gave up his time. He gave up his money. And he built some baseball fields here in Detroit. He didn't perform all that well on the field, but off the field, he did exactly what he needed to do. And I know I speak for his teammates as well. They wish him all the best.
Billy Buckner, meanwhile, compiled a 3-1 record with a 3.53 ERA in 7 starts with their AAA team in Reno. And the Diamondbacks called him up on May 18th. First pitch is in for a strike. Buckner apparently struck out 11 in 13 innings of work at the big league level. Travis Hafner with one out. Only 5 Tigers hits in this game. They've been out hit 7-5 and trailed 2-1. Hafner is hitless against Bonderman. And this is only his 88th pitch, and it almost hit him. Or did it? Hafner's going to first base, so it did hit him. One on, one out. Here's Johnny Peralta. Peralta, a pretty good double play candidate here. Second on the team with 5 twin killings that he's bounced it into. He is 1 for 3 tonight. Ground ball, fly ball, single. Tigers got a run in the second, have not scored since. They had a 1-0 lead at that point. The Indians have captured the lead. 1-1 on Peralta.
90 pitches in. Bonderman still has a fastball in the low 90s. He's gone anywhere from 87 to 93 with his heater today. And that's the key. If you're going to throw 90 miles an hour, you got to have some movement. You got to have some late life, some action when that ball gets in the hitting zone. If you're going to miss some big league hitters' bats.
The 1-1. Line to left. That's a base hit. Peralta has his second hit tonight, and that is the 8th hit overall now.
Hey, fans, as soon as the game ends, our coverage continues with Tigers Live. We'll hear from the manager, Jim Leland, and the players. Plus, we'll break down the game and show you all the highlights. Tigers Live from the Call Sam Studios immediately after the game here on Fox Sports Detroit. Ryan Field hanging out in the Call Sam Studios tonight.
Meanwhile, Eddie Bonine hanging out in the bullpen right now. He's warming up.
I mean, Bonderman's still 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning, and that's where his concentration needs to be, at the bottom of the strike zone against Branyan.
Driven high in the air, deep into right field. Maglio going back to the warning track, and he'll make the catch. The runner will tag at second base. Hafner moves up to third. A fly ball by Branyan is the second out.
The second baseman, Martin Rosalani.
That'll leave it up to Grzelcyk.
And Grzelcyk with 2 outs, dangerous hitter. There's no debate about that. He checks in at 284 this year, but he doesn't strike out very often. You'd much rather see a big power hitter in this situation than a table sitter like Grzelcyk, because you know pretty much he's going to put the ball in play, and more than likely he's going to hit the ball to right field.
In 15 big league seasons, he has amassed over 2,000 major league hits. 1 for 3 tonight. Sits safely in his last 4. Bonderman trying to keep this a 2-1 game. Bonine now joined by Brad Thomas. Kind of. Good block by Laird. 2-0. Meanwhile, the Indians bullpen hoping for a night off after a 4-game series in the Bronx. So far, so good for them. Jake Westbrook has seen to that. Missed it high. 3-0 on Grzelcyk. Hafner's at third base. Peralta down at first base. Cleveland left the bases loaded in the 7th. And they're trying to pad their lead again here in the 8th. There's a strike, 3-1. Grzelcyk washed it right into the glove. Ground ball left side. Ainge can't get it into left field. That'll score Hafner. Just out of the reach of a diving Brandon Inge, and Grzelcyk has his second hit tonight.
Yeah, them cats are dangerous in those types of situations. Never fails. Grzelcyk worked the count to 3-0 before getting it to 3-1 and hit one right out of the outstretched glove of Brandon Inge. This has really been a good start for Bond. He's only given up 3 runs in this game, but a couple of solo shots and then that base hit right there by Grzelcyk. He continues to work at the bottom of the strike zone. It's a big out right here, though. You need to keep the score at 3-1 to give your team an opportunity to come back with just 6 outs left against Jake Westbrook, who's been sensational tonight.
Lou Marson, the batter. He's 0 for 3. Make it 9 hits now for the Indians. And they've added another run here in the 8th to make it a 3-1 ball game. Breaking ball in for a strike, 0-1. Marson, part of that Cliff Lee deal from the Phillies, also with Jason Donnell. He comes over. But he has really struggled against right-handed pitching this year. Just 154. And 0 for 3 tonight. He's got Peralta at second base, and he has Grzelcyk down at first. 9 Cleveland hits in this game. And 5 of those have come in the last 2 innings against Bonderman. Ground ball to short. Santiago to his left, and that is that for the Indians, but they get a big insurance run. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning. Jake Westbrook has retired 11 straight batters. Branyan and Chu with home runs for the Tribe, and Cabrera 2 for 3 double and a .349 average. He's also scored the only Tigers run. Now they try and get the offense going with a pinch hitter to start things here in the 8th. Don Kelly is batting for Gerald Laird. Kelly, then Santiago, and then Jackson. Westbrook tonight with a total of 86 pitches in this game. Here's the 0-1 to Kelly. One for 5 this year as a pinch hitter for Don Kelly. Lifts that one back out of play. 1-2.
Ten groundouts, 9 flyouts, just 1 strikeout for Westbrook. I guess the one number that would kind of surprise you is the fly ball number.
And he hits Kelly to start it off.
Get on any way you can. Take one for the team. Will swing back fastball. It didn't swing back.
Leadoff man is on. That's going to bring up Santiago.
And Westbrook's touched 93 today, and it's gone as low as 77. And you can bet he's thrown about everything in between those two velocity ranges, courtesy of Comcast.
Santiago pop up at a line out.
Tough decision here for Jim. Boy, you got Westbrook, who's throwing tons of ground balls, who's on top of his game. Tigers have been able to do very little with him. If you just sit there, there's a chance that Santiago might hit into a double play, but you're already trailing by 2, and you don't want to force the issue. But you'd love to see your big boys come to the dish in this inning with runners in scoring position.
Meanwhile, it's 2-0 on Santiago. Westbrook has hit 2 batters tonight. He also hit Bosch earlier in the game and now has 6 this year, which is tied for most in the American League.
It's quite a few.
See what he gets on 2-0. 2 balls, 1 strike. Tomorrow it's going to be Galarraga and Carmona in the middle game of the series. Porcello will pitch the final game on Thursday. Tigers then on the road again. (2-1). Bouncing ball to second base. Should be 2. There's 1. Oh, the relay is going to get away from the first baseman. Santiago will go to second. Trouble with the exchange down there at second base, and the flip is fired in the dirt right there for the Tigers.
Well, you knew Jim wanted to put a runner in motion, but it probably wasn't the wisest idea to do so, and Grzelcyk backs up on the ball, and I think that's the difference in him getting the ball efficiently to Donald, which would have allowed Donald to turn that play over. But Santiago, he runs pretty well, and as soon as Grzelcyk backed up on that ball, that gave Santiago a couple of extra steps down that first baseline, which aided in him getting there safely.
Fielder's choice, E6, and here is Austin Jackson. Jackson is 0 for 3. He's hit 3 ground balls against Westbrook in this game. Austin is the only rookie that is in the top 10 in hits this year, 66. Slaying away, and he missed away. 2-0.
One of those at-bats where Austin is really concentrating. No longer is he utilizing that high leg kick that Lloyd McClendon gave him back at the beginning of the year. As we get a look at the bullpen activity, Tony Sipp, Chris Perez for the Indians. But Jackson not picking that left foot up nearly as high as he did earlier in the year. As a matter of fact, he's just kind of sliding it on the dirt.
3-0. Jackson taking 3-1. Damon will be next. Then you get into the heavy part of the lineup. 3-1 pitch. Right back up the middle. Positioned perfectly. It's Grzelcyk, and Jackson is out. Santiago goes to third. A hard hit ball. Looked like it might get through, but Grzelcyk was there. 2 gone.
Take a look at Grzelcyk here in your circle there, and that's one of the reasons why he's able to get to this ball, because he's holding Santiago on, not the shortstop. Jackson hits it right to him, and Grzelcyk able to make a real nice play. If he's over 2-3 steps, that ball gets right back up the middle.
So can Damon provide the 2-out hit? Jackson tonight 0 for 4. Everything on the ground for Austin. Damon has a double and a ball lost in the sun by Austin Kearns back in the 3rd inning. Just off the corner. 1-0. Line drive toward left field, slicing foul. Right off the end of the bat, and the count now 1-1 on Damon.
It's kind of surprising that defensively they're shading Johnny Damon the opposite way. I'm talking about the outfielders as much as they are. There's a ton of room down that right field line, and if you take a peek at Johnny Damon's straight chart, the majority of his hits have been to right field this year, but apparently they feel like Westbrook's got the kind of control and command today that they're going to force Damon into hitting into the teeth of their defense.
1-2. So Damon in the hole now.
And really, as a center fielder, when you have a guy on the mound that has his good stuff and good control, you can kind of move with him in the outfield because you know he's going to hit his spots, and that helps you get better jumps on baseballs, especially with 2 strikes. All shading Damon the opposite way. Hit one down that right field line, JD.
Again, they stay away, and the count is 2-2. Santiago down at third base. 19,000 plus, making some noise here. The 2-2 pitch is off the outside part of the play again, so away. And it's now 3-2.
And you know Westbrook's thinking about not walking Damon because he doesn't want to see Maglia. And he most definitely doesn't want to see Cabrera in this inning.
Three-two pitch. Rolled foul. So Westbrook now is over the 100 plateau. 105 pitches thrown in this game. A good many of them here in the 8th inning. He came into this inning having retired 11 straight before he hit the leadoff man, the pinch hitter Don Kelly. 3-2. He lost him, ball 4. So Damon is on. Tying runs aboard. It's a first walk for Westbrook. And the actor. Slow walk out to the mound. Tigers are going to bring Ordonez up to the plate as the go-ahead run.
Looks like Manny Acton wants to see how he feels before he makes a decision on whether he's going to go to his bullpen or not. And he's going to trust that Westbrook tells him exactly how he feels.
Westbrook gives up the baseball.
Nice job by Westbrook being honest with his manager.
So they'll go to the bullpen. The bullpen that was hit hard in New York. And we'll be back.
Favorites Tigers to this year's Midsummer Classic by voting up to 25 times at Tigers.com. Vote early, vote often, and vote some more at Tigers.com.
So Westbrook will rely on his bullpen tonight, 7 2/3, allowing 5 hits and 1 run. He is still responsible for the 2 runners.
'21st game now for Perez, who's their closer. He comes in 0-2, 5 saves and 8 chances, which means he's blown 3. He gave up a home run, a grand slam to Alex Rodriguez yesterday in the Bronx.
And he's facing Maglio Ordonez. Pops up the first pitch, but back out of play.
Perez has got a really nice arm, anywhere from 93 to 97 with his fastball. And it's moving as well, so he's got a nice power arm, and I guess he's their closer of the future.
His last save was on the 9th against Detroit.
Yeah, they don't win many games in Cleveland.
9th of May, that is. The 0-1. Right-handers have had a tough time against Perez. They've had only 163 against him.
And Mags has got some room wherever he wants it, especially with the first baseman holding the base runner on.
Maglio Ordonez, he's 0 for 3. Popped him up. Left side of the infield. Third baseman Peralta to the grass. And that is that. So the Tigers threaten, do not score. They leave a pair, and we go to the 9th, where it's Donald, Crow, and Chu. Cleveland is on top by a score of 3-1. Rod, you got a birthday wish, don't you?
I do, and I almost forgot about it. Here we are in the 9th inning, and I forgot to wish Gloria Horton a happy birthday. Willie stopped by the broadcast booth today, and he told us that it was your birthday today, and we just wanted to make sure that you had a happy one and a safe one, and you got a good man in Willie Horton.
Well, Gloria, hopefully the Tigers can come through here for you when we get to the bottom of the 9th inning. A victory would be nice. We have a new pitcher now. It's Eddie Bonine, making his 19th appearance out of the Detroit bullpen.
Jim Leland absolutely loves what Bonine has been able to do this year. Avila takes over behind the plate. Laird was pinch hit for Don Kelly, who was able to reach successfully. But Bonine, for a front end of the rotation guy to come in and pitch the way that he has pitched this year, and really he has done what Jim thought he would do. That's the kind of confidence Jim has in Eddie Bonine.
Trying to get 3 outs here in the 9th inning as he replaces Jeremy Bonderman, who, by the way, had his longest outing since April 30th of 2008 when he went 7 2/3 against New York.
He's on his way back.
Looks like it.
Quality start here today for Bonderman. Also a quality start for Verlander yesterday, but both pitchers would probably tell you, forget about the quality. I'll take the win or the team win. And in case you don't know what a quality start is, it's 3 innings or more, 3 earned runs or less. Clean shaven JB today.
6 innings or more.
What'd I say?
3 innings.
3 innings? Ooh, that would be real quality.
That's not real good. 3 innings. There's a strikeout.
Bonine has had a pretty good breaking ball all year. He will throw a knuckleball as well, but it kind of depends on what he's feeling better with on any given night as to which secondary pitch he will use to go along with his fastball in the low 90s.
There's Trevor Crowe. 1 for 4 for Crowe. 9 hits tonight for the Indians, only 5 for the Detroiters. There's a strike, 0-1 on Crowe. Bounces one towards second base. 2 gone.
Baseball is such a funny game. For the better part of the season, we were waiting for that rotation to get its act together and to start pitching well, and they really have pitched good baseball in the month of May. Collectively, they've pitched well. They've gotten a lot better. But now the offense has kind of gone a little stagnant, so it's very difficult to kind of put them all together so you can have one of those real nice runs for 2 weeks where you can win 12 or 14 games, but still a lot of baseball to be played this year.
Well, Memorial Day always seems to be one of those mile markers that everybody looks at. You check out your team, what they've done after 40 games or so, and see how they've played. And it would be nice to have pitching, defense, and the offense all clicking at the same time.
One thing is for certain. When the season starts, you're going to win 50. You're going to lose 50. But it's what you do with those other 62 games which will determine whether you're playing some meaningful games in the month of October.
Tigers came into this one 2 over the 500 mark at 26 and 24, but they will have just 3 outs to try and make up a couple of runs. Hopefully no more than that. The 2-1 to Chu. 3-1.
You might not want to throw him a fastball right here. And if you do throw him a fastball, you need to locate it. Because he's a good fastball hitter, and he likes to hit right-handers.
3-2. Bonine in search of a 1-2-3 inning. And he walked him. No such luck. The second time Chu has reached. It's going to bring up Austin Kearns. Kearns 0 for 2, but he's walked a couple of times. All of those at bats against the starter Bonderman, who for a while, because of his pitch count, looked like he might be able to pitch a complete game. And Jeremy had not had one of those since 2005. His Bowline got Chu.
It was awkward looking at the way that Chu got back to the bag, sort of a half slide, half dive, and ended up standing up. Indecisiveness on Chu's part. And if you weren't with us earlier, and we told you that other than Sizemore, who's on the disabled list, Chu will run, but hadn't run all that often.
Foul straight back. Chu with 9 steals and 11 tries. He leads the team. Tipped it into the glove of Avila.
I was looking at something today, and I had to do a double take. And even though I did a double take and I read it, I still had to ask the truck to confirm it. Chu, since he's been wearing a Cleveland Indians uniform, and they play the Tigers a lot, has not stolen one base and has attempted only one. Spanning 45 games.
Wow. That is a lot of games.
Oh, absolutely. He was a 2020 man last year, was Chu.
Oh, and 2 on Austin Kearns. Rolled foul. Well, when you look ahead of the Tigers' bottom of the 9th, Cabrera, Bosch, and Guillen will be the hitters, so don't go anywhere. They'll try and get something going. They've been stuck on 5 hits. Trailed by 2 runs. Frustrating night last night for the skipper, watching his lineup not do a whole lot tonight. They've managed 1 run on 5 hits. Another throw back, and they almost got him. Ooh, Bonine thought he had him. He was backpedaling off the mound. He thought he got him.
Real nice, quick move. Looked like Chu was taking that one stutter step towards second base, and he got caught in between. And that.
He looked out.
Marvin Hudson down at first base here tonight.
Bonine really preoccupied with Chu. 2-out walk has kept the inning going. Avila flashing the signals. Swing and a miss, and Bonine finally takes care of Austin Kearns. So they get a walk, leave a man. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Radio Tribute. Record yours at Comerica Park tomorrow and Thursday. Stop by the Brushfire Grill on the concourse during the 3rd through 6th innings. Sit down at our desk and tell Dad you love him in your own special way. Tributes can be viewed starting June 15th at FoxSportsDetroit.com. They started it tonight. There's the set. You get to sit down there and pretend you're John Keating.
That's pretty cool. They're going to make dads feel awfully special on Father's Day.
So check that out.
Which is always a good thing.
Don't be nervous. Our folks will take good care of you.
I misinformed you last half inning. I was half right. I said Perez was their closer. Obviously, he's not. Kerry Wood is healthy, and he is their closer. But I was half right. Perez is their closer in waiting.
Kerry Wood trying to shut this one down. 2 saves and 3 opportunities. Kerry Wood started the season on the disabled list after straining a lat in spring training. Here's Cabrera. Tigers down by 2 as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Cabrera, Bosch, and Guillen.
Kerry Wood still has electric stuff. Fastball at 95 miles an hour. He's got an outstanding curveball. Came up in the Chicago Cubs organization as a starter and was one of the best young starters in the National League at that time. Lots of injuries have caused him to go to the bullpen. He's had success there. Cleveland brought him over 2 years ago to pitch at the back end of their bullpen.
He's fallen behind 2-1 on Cabrera. 2 for 3 tonight for Miguel. Bouncing ball to second base. Routine for Gredzelanek, and they keep one big bat off the bases. 1 gone.
The designated hitter.
Bring up Brennan Bosch. Apparently Eminem is big in Santa Monica. That is the music that Bosch comes to the plate with. Eminem's latest.
Really? Look at you. That's his latest?
That's his latest. I'm not afraid. I'm going to stop it right there.
I see you. See you.
It's a very poor imitation. 0-1 on Bosch. Wave and a miss. 0-2.
And Bosch has got to make sure he makes these pitchers get back in the strike zone. He's so talented. He's so gifted. He's really good. But it's tough if you're swinging at bad pitches. Easier said than done, but that's what Brennan has to do.
And a strike called. Got him looking, and Bosch is punched out of there. 2 away.
Kerry Wood carved him up nicely.
Wood is making it look easy here in the 9th. 6'5", 211 pounds of it.
Tigers weren't all that kind to Kerry Wood when he came off the disabled list in Cleveland when the Tigers made their first trip of the year there this year. He came off the DL one night and the Tigers tacked the loss on him.
So the Tigers' last chance is Carlos Guillen.
When you've got that kind of moving fastball in the mid-90s, you're going to have success. And Wood has had a lot of that over his big league career.
Down the middle it comes for a strike at 94 miles an hour. 1-1. Looks a whole lot different tonight than the last time we saw him. A whole lot different. One and 2. Ground ball first base. Knocked down by Branyan, but he has no play. Break there for the Tigers. They're still alive.
That's why they teach you as a first baseman to kind of pretend like your throwing hand, you could just put it behind your back. They like for you to play the first base position with one hand. You can see that he gets over there, but he tries to play it like a middle infielder with both hands in front of it. The ball trickles through his legs, and he gets an error on the play, but usually at first base, it's a one-handed position. You can move better that way.
So here is Inge. He is the tying run at the plate now. A 2-out error. Runner going with no throw. Strike called on Inge. Brandon tonight is 1 for 3. 0 for 2 career against Kerry Wood. Blocked at home plate by Marson. Brandon this year with 6 home runs. Tigers tonight 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. They got to get it done right now. They're down by 2 with 2 outs. Two and 1.
Well, if you're Brandon, you pretty much know what you're going to get. And if you get anything other than the fastball, then you simply have to take it unless it's a hanging breaking ball. But you dial it up for 95 right here.
3 and 1 on in.
Same thought process applies.
Rally caps. Alex Avila would be next. And he walked him. Time runs on. It's a 2-out rally for the Tigers. He's going to bring up Avila. Avila came on after Laird was pinch hit for in the 8th inning. Maybe an extra base hit away from tying this one up. 3-1 game in the 9th. And Avila takes ball 1.
Avila's bat perked up a little bit yesterday. He got a start, and he had a couple of singles in the game.
They could use a base hit here. 2 runners on. Ian and Inge. Gary Wood seemingly was cruising along with a couple of quick outs. Now 2 men on. And there's a strike in the outer edge. 1-1. Two balls and 1 strike. Wood suddenly now has thrown 19 pitches in this inning. 9 of them have missed the strike zone. The 2-1 pitch. Fouled away. 2-2 on Avila. Two on the Tigers catcher. But the tying runs on in the 9th. And it's fouled away. Wood saved 34 games 2 years ago in the National League with the Cubs, 20 last year with Cleveland. Injury problems this year. Fouled away. catcher Marson out to the mound. The inning started with a ground out, then Bosch struck out. Guillen reached on an error by the first baseman Branyan, and then a walk to Brandon in.
You might have saw Alex ask the home plate umpire, Darryl Cousins, was that last fastball from Kerry Wood a strike? And I think Cousins told him no, the ball was up and outside. But when a guy is throwing as hard as Wood is throwing here in the ninth inning, you don't have a whole lot of time to make up your mind whether it's going to be right down the middle or not. You've got to protect the plate right here.
Inside, 3-2. Now the added benefit of starting the runners here with 2 outs. Get a gap shot here, and for sure you'll get 2 runs in. Here comes the crowd. The 3-2. Out foul. Avila continues to battle away. 24 pitches now thrown by the right-hander Kerry Wood. Hoping the Rally Caps can provide some magic tonight. This will be the 9th pitch coming up in this bat alone. Another foul back out of play. So the next one will be number 10. Tigers led 1-0. Indians got one in the 5th, one in the 6th, one in the 8th. Tigers threatening with 2 outs in the 9th. And a drive to right field, base hit. 1 run will score. That's Guillen. Ings will go to 3rd. And the Tigers are to within 1, 3-2.
3 hits in the last 2 days for Alex Avila, and this at-bat is the kind of at-bat that can sort of catapult you into having a real good season against one of your better closers in the American League, stuff-wise. Finally gets the fastball right down the middle. He's able to center it, and hits a seed in the right field and allow Carlos Guillen to come home, who was running on the play. Great at-bat by Avila.
Carlos Guillen comes around to score. The Tigers now have the tying run at 3rd base. And the winning run at 1st base. Tim Belcher is out to give Wood a breather and talk a little strategy here with Santiago coming up.
Indians bullpen last 14 games. Well, the numbers speak for themselves.
Santiago is 0 for 2 against Kerry Wood. Winning run at 1st base. Tying run at 3rd. And a strike called, 0-1. Tigers finally given the 19,000 plus something to cheer about here in the 9th inning.
And you can see outfield shading Santiago well into left field. Crow in center field. Turns in left. And they're playing awfully shallow. Both guys here. That's where he does most of his work anyway, does Santiago. Well, if he could hit one in the right center field, Avila might be able to score from 1st.
Game over.
Oh, good pitch.
Strike called. 1-2 on Santiago.
That's a great call by by the catcher and Marson, and also a very nice pitch by Kerry Wood, especially to Santiago, who's looking for that fastball. Table setters just try to meet the ball.
Here's the 1-2. In the air toward left field. On the move is Kearns to end the ball game.
Holland played perfectly.
So the Tigers threaten to get one, and they will lose the first game in this series. A wild save for Kerry Wood. 3-2 our final score. Back with more from Comer.